teacher's pet, as being the girl who never gets out of her little box, who lives in a little box, who lives a boring life. And Dia Lupe, she knows some of her classmates, women who have already sexual intercourse, who think that sexual intercourse, having sex with a lot of boys and so on, that this would be all fun, that this would be life, and someone would enjoy life through those means. But Dia Lupe, she was never one of those women. No, she saw different pleasure of life. She thought of herself as something special. She thought of her life as something special. Something special God has given her. This life, this is her only and first chance. This, she was always aware, and she was too worthy. And she thought of herself as too worthy just to throw herself away, just to throw herself and her life away. And for whom? For just a random dude who can take his turn with her to give him pleasure. No, Dia Lupe, she's more than that. She's special. She thought that she's special, and she would never throw her life away for that stupid thing, for such a stupid thing like sex. That is more than that. Dia Lupe did never have sex. She did not have a boyfriend, but she did not miss it. She never came across someone who would have conquered her heart. That's why she always thought about love, about sexual seduction, about this special attraction as a ghost, as a holiness, as nonsense, nothing people should ever worry about. No, she had her life, had her plan. Something new was waiting for her. College, a new part of her life was supposed to start. A new chapter in her life. College, she would meet a new people. She would learn something, and this was pure enjoyment for Dia Lupe. Knowledge, getting to know something, getting to know the world. Be in this world, to understand everything, to fill her brain with knowledge. Some days she just felt empty. Some days her mind, her brain just felt empty, and then she felt this urge to fill her mind with knowledge, fill her mind with things one is supposed to know, one ought to know, things that help you to understand everything, to make sense of your world. Dia Lupe was that girl. She enjoyed learning something new. But then things changed. Things changed, and she could not hold it back. She could not grasp what changed. How did she come here? Dia Lupe looks around in the prison cell. She looks at her hands. They were bloody ones. They were bloody. These tender hands. These tender hands. They killed someone. They were capable of killing someone. They held a knife, and it was as Dia Lupe never had expected. It was not that she somehow had to fight with herself, that there was an obstacle in her mind. No, it actually happened all automatically. She stood in front of Salvatore Garcia. For a moment, she was not sure what to say, what to do. She didn't even say anything. She just stood in front of him. He stared at her. Dia Lupe is a beautiful woman, and Salvatore Garcia, he smiled at her. He was interested in her. He enjoyed her. And Dia Lupe, she saw exactly that that Salvatore Garcia undressed her, that he advanced her, and that she felt danger. But for an odd moment, she did not feel fear. She did not feel anything at all. She felt dumb. She felt numb. She felt as if in her whole body she would not have any feeling at all, as if she would be drained of anything, as if she would stand there boiled down on this very ground. She knew that she could not go away anymore. It was a stupid idea. The very moment she stood in front of Salvatore Garcia, she knew it. This was a bad idea. This was stupid, and that she shouldn't have gone there, that she should have done something else, but she didn't know what. She was lost. She hadn't talked with anyone, and she could not talk with anyone. She could not tell anyone who would understand her feeling. Is it even possible to fathom? Because Anna Dia Lupe, she didn't understand it herself. She was tongue-tied, was self-beaten, crushed. She could not believe it herself. And then there she stood in front of Salvatore Garcia, and she forgot everything. She forgot who she was, what she was doing there, what she was supposed to do there, what is one supposed to do after this. And then at once, as if it would happen mechanically, and it happened mechanically, she grabbed in her bag, took out the knife. Salvatore Dali was still smiling, and then she stabbed him. It happened so mechanically. She just stabbed him in his throat. She rammed the knife in his throat. The police officer before had asked her about it. How did you kill him? Did you ram the knife with a lot of force in his throat? Or was it just that he cornered you? Did he corner you and you had to defend yourself? Or did you ram the knife full in his throat? And he asked her this in such a normal way, as if one would see this every day, as if this would be a normal question. People who talk like everyday small talk. How was it like to kill someone? How was it like to ram a knife into someone's throat? Anna Dia Lupe, she was somehow shocked by this nonchalance, by this normalness, by this tranquility. And she was even more surprised by her own calmness. She was not trembling. She just told it. She just told the truth. She rammed the knife full in his throat. She did not talk about her trembling afterward. What had happened, she did not realize it. As if her right hand moved mechanically, without her knowledge, without her will, as if her hand had developed its own will. The knife just moved in Salvatore Garcia's throat. It pierced it. And Salvatore Garcia stared at her in shock. He was not expecting it. He was obviously not expecting it. His eyes were wide open, as if he had not grasped the world, as if he, some sort of would mirror Anna Dia's own facial expression, as if he would some sort of emulate her own feelings, because she did not understand it at all. She stood there shell-shocked, could not grasp, could not fathom. How did she get there? She did not know why she came there. For a moment she forgot everything. She forgot even her own name. She forgot what this was all about. Anna Dia Lupe was a murderer, and she killed him. She killed him, and Anna Dia Lupe still hears his He's ringing for air. He's panting. This deafening of his breathing. This knife, when the knife was rammed in his throat, the noise it made. The noise as if this knife that rams into the throat of someone cuts through veins, through skins and tissue. That this noise is like a sledgehammer that can't be muted, that still is in her ears, rings in her ears. This sledgehammer, and it plays over and over again this tune of the knife being rammed in his throat. Anna, Dia Lupe, she cannot mute this sound anymore. And then his pantings, his ringing for air, and slowly and gradually Salvatore Garcia sat down. He sat down to the ground, and Anna, Dia Lupe, she was trembling all over. The knife in her hand, she was trembling all over. This is what she did. She never would have expected that she could do something like that. And then she did it. And she stood there, shell-shocked. She stood there as if she could not understand what she did. And why did she do it? Anna, Dia Lupe, she's thoughtful. She's in this prison cell. She looks around. There was no other alternative anymore. Anna, Dia Lupe is sure of it. She had to do it. And this prison cell, everything, this small room, this solitary confinement, this is her new home now. This little place. And Anna, Dia Lupe, she thinks about the life she had before, weeks before it, that she probably would now, if this wouldn't have happened, that she probably would now prepare for college, prepare for her new life, prepare for this new chapter of her life, and she would be thrilled and excited to learn about new things, to get educated, to garner knowledge, to open her horizon to the world, and that this possibility would have been already thrilling to her. But this life was gone. This life was gone for good. This is her life now. And more, Anna, Dia Lupe, she feels uncomfortable. She feels trapped. For the first time, she seems to realize that this is the end. That this life, this place she is confined in, that there is no escape of it. And she feels some sort of bitterness, and she asks herself, why did I do it? What did I do it? Was it really necessary?